What's good, YouTube? I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to be talking to y'all, telling y'all the do's and don'ts with getting
a leopard gecko.
Total I've had 5, 2 died. It's been like, you know, there's a lot of things. First things first.
The basics.
I have a list right here with me on my laptop. It's pretty fucking long. Tip number 1. Don't breed pet quality lizards. If you get them from a pet store or basically anywhere that's not from a breeder, don't breed them because you don't know the genetics of the lizard and it can cause abnormalities. I think that's how you say it with the hatchlings. So don't breed them. And even if you do get them from a breeder, make sure you are an expert when breeding them because you don't want to mess up, you know? Okay. Leopard geckos are not pets for kids. I don't think so, and I think anyone who owns a lizard would agree with me. Geckos sploot when they're happy and they're comfortable. So I'm going to put a picture. That was Astra. That's my lizard. And I guess it's just like when they're happy and they're comfortable, so they lay outside and they take in, you know, the light or the heat. You know, it just shows that they're comfortable. Leopard geckos are crepuscular, so they are mostly up from dusk to dawn, dawn to dusk. They're like during the nightish, kind of early in the morning, late at night type of thing. That's when they're mostly active. Other reptiles want heat from the sun during the day, but leopard geckos, they just want heat, so they'll be up during the nighttime. They'll be taking the heat from the DP projector. People say they don't have feelings and they don't know who their owner is. I don't think so because my lizards are the sweetest little things ever. My biggest one, Yoshi, she'll like climb in her calcium bowl and she'll like wait for me to put my hand in, and that's when I know she wants to come out. And when we used to have slate rocks set up, it was like to the edge of the glass. I'll show you a picture. She would go over there when she wants to come out, and she just shows most affection to me. So I just don't think so. So when it comes to ticks, when it comes to placing them, I wouldn't place them in front of a window or directly next to a heater. You know, the window can mess with their temperatures, the heat, the same thing too. You don't want that. Make sure they're not by like litter boxes, like dusty areas, or like by places with drafts. Like for the size of the tank, make sure you get the tank that's just right for them. So if you have a little tiny hatchling, they have little tiny nano ones, or get like a 10-gallon. If you have a little tiny baby lizard and you put them inside a 20-gallon tank, you know, they're gonna get scared. Like they're gonna be lost. Like it's like putting a child inside a stadium. They're gonna get scared and lost. The tanks we have are from Exoterra. They're really great. They have little tiny doors and it's easier. I just say all around that they're better. But just know, as they get bigger, you are going to have to get a bigger tank. Yeah, so right now we have an Exoterra 20-gallon. The dimensions is 36 by 18 by 12. We're gonna get her a 40-gallon, 36 by 18 by 12. So I highly recommend those tanks. Depending on where you get them, if you go to a reptile expo, most likely you'll get them for a better price, but they do have them on Amazon, and I think they have a website. I'll make sure to link that in the description if they do.
I gotcha.
Okay, so next, heating. People will get really confused with this. They'll buy the wrong things. The ones I recommend, I highly recommend. We've been using them for about 6-7 months now.
This stuff is really good, trust me.
Digital thermometers and hydrometer. I'm gonna put a picture. So you're gonna need 2 thermometers. You're gonna just need a regular thermometer. I highly recommend like the battery operated ones. I don't know what they call them. You're gonna need one of those, and then you're gonna need a thermometer / hydrometer. Want to tell the humidity and the temperature on the warm side. And also make sure the humidity is around 20 to 40. Keep in mind that at night the humidity does rise inside the tank, so The next thing is a DP projector heating source. Now we put that on the top of the tank, and that goes to the back left. And so the DP projector, make sure that is on a dimming thermostat. That will raise the temperature to the point, then lowers it and raises it to maintain consistent heat. You know, it does it for you. Really important because, like, let's say it gets really cold in your house, it'll like raise the temperature to maintain it, or if it gets really hot, it'll lower it.
I'm telling you, that does its thing.
That has to stay between 90 the highest, 88 the lowest during the day, and about 75 to 73. I wouldn't recommend nothing lower at night. And basically what it does, it switch on and off. And so make sure the prong for the DP projector is directly underneath. You could put it on a leaf, you could put it on the cave, and make sure it just stays there. So the DP projector, it gives infrared A and B, but very little infrared A, to be honest. Penetrates through the skin. We did experience, so the DP projector, well, basically what it did to the lizards is that they were more active, they were eating more, and we noticed a difference in just a few days with installing it. We did experience that, and my dad was very happy. He likes fattening us up. So make sure you get a belly mat. That takes up about 75% of the hot side of the tank. And basically for the belly mat should stay at 90 degrees. Basically what that does is that just helps them digest their food, and you need that. They need to digest their food. Don't get it twisted. They need to.
Just like you need to digest their food, they need to digest their food.
So basically you put the belly mat, and then you have two thermostats, one in the front, one in the back, on the outside of the tank. Okay, lights. We do have lights. We have Arcadia Shade Dwellers. It makes them more active. Their colors more vibrant. Also, when you have the lights, they do cryptic bask. Basically, it was when they're inside the cave and they have their head out or their foot, the tip of their tail. That's cryptic bask. Mosaic basking is when they get light through the it's like broken up light through the leaves and stuff. Also, it gives 17% of UVA and 7% of UVB. And it also gives D3. Their substrate. So we use paper towel because it's better for them, easier to clean up, it's really inexpensive. So we did used to use the carpet that we got at Petco. It's not good. Don't recommend it. It smells. You have to have like multiple, and their claws can get stuck on it and their teeth can get stuck on it. One day when we used to feed her crickets, she went to go bite the cricket and her little tiny teeth did get stuck on the carpet and she was struggling. They poop all the time. You would have to keep taking out, cleaning it like twice a day, however much your lizard poops. Moving all their stuff around just to take out the carpet, that stresses them out, and you really don't want to stress them out. And I don't recommend newspapers. I've seen people on YouTube,
no shade,
using actual newspaper. That ink is not good for them, man. Unless you're using newspaper without ink on it, like plain newspaper. Any type of loose substrate, I wouldn't recommend that. They can get impacted when they eat. They could die. So yeah, so if you do use a loose substrate, I would recommend to feed them separately, because leopard geckos, they do like to dig. So it's just like a precaution. So next, we're going to be talking about hides. So in our tanks, we have about 3 or 4. You would have one on the cold side, one on the hot side, and a humid hide or a wet hide. The humid hide and wet hide is super important because it does help them when they're going to shed or after they're shedding, you know, just that whole process. We use moss. You have to make sure it's wet. You have 3 hides. Doesn't mean you can't add more foliage, but please add foliage. Add a lot of foliage. They like to hide. They like to be sneaky and stuff, feel me? Vines, they like to climb. Make sure your vines are properly hung. So food. Get a food bowl that they can reach into. Keep track of what they eat, please. We have a log. Tells us what they eat, and like at the end of every 2 weeks, I believe, we scale them. And also the bowl you get, make sure that the bugs cannot climb out of. You don't understand. When we do our monthly cleaning,
and you see a worm and it touches your finger.
we feed them mealworms every day. They have a bowl of mealworms every single day. 2 times a week, we put a sprinkle of calcium with D3, which you do need. You need 2 calciums, with D3 and without. So the calcium with D3, 2 times a week, we sprinkle it inside. And then we do have a little tiny bowl filled with calcium without D3, we change that like twice a week, I believe. So once a week, you give them multivitamins. I'll show you which multivitamins we use. And also, I don't recommend crickets because crickets do carry parasites and you don't want your baby getting sick. And especially because if they don't eat it while they're sleeping or anything they're doing, the crickets will bite them. The common food would be mealworms, superworms, and crickets. An uncommon food, and those would be silkworms, calcium worms, or phoenix worms they're called, and dubia roaches. We don't feed them dubia roaches anymore. My dad left it open and my mom was sitting on the floor feeding one lizard. He was standing up feeding another and they fell directly next to her. 100 dubia roaches. We did kill them all, but it was fucking scary. Calcium worms, we just ordered them. I'll leave the link in the description to where we order our worms from. It's really good prices and stuff. Good quality worms, you know. Occasional treat would be like hornworms, waxworms, and sometimes butterworms. Cleaning. Please make sure when you are cleaning their tanks, you take them out of their tanks. If they're holdable, you know, you can hold them and stuff. Or if not, get a little tiny clear tank. Make sure there's no pets around when they're out. You don't want them getting stressed out and scared. So once a month, empty out the tank. So what we do is we get a spray bottle. And we spray like the edges in the glass with vinegar only. And then we spray, then we get another water bottle followed by water. You know, we wipe that up, spray the water, and it's a wipe down only, you know? Clean it. And the other thing you can do is you can get a spray bottle of peroxide water, and that kills crypto, which kills them. So you want to kill the crypto. Followed by drying, no water, or a steam machine. Make sure you clean their poop daily, hourly, whenever they poop. If you see that poop, don't walk past. What we do is, because we use Bouncy, we take a single sheet of Bouncy and we fold it, and wherever their poop spot is, we put it right there. And they poop on it, we just take it out, take another one, fold it. Feel me? Easy. Make sure you clean their calcium bowl whenever you change it. Clean their water bowl. Empty out the dead bugs, the old bugs. You don't want that. The bugs could turn into other bugs like beetles, moths. So yeah, and also their foliage and stuff, make sure you steam clean that, but be careful. My dad got burnt because he don't know what he doing, to be honest. So when it comes to handling them, let them know your scent before you handle them. Put your hand in there for 15 minutes a day. Let them come out and smell you. Sooner or later they'll walk on you. But when they walk on you at first, don't move. Let them, for me, let them test the waters first. Let them get used to you. Because if you force it, they will not like you. Ask my dad, they don't like him. They don't like him. Please don't ever grab a lizard by their tail. They could drop their tail. People say,
but it goes back.
Have you seen a leopard gecko with their tail going back? I'll drop a picture. Okay, that's what I thought. And if they're inside attack stance, just leave them alone. Don't let them near other animals. Don't let them roam free. And if you put them down to watch them walk around, make sure it's not on a carpet or like a couch or something, because they can get their claws caught and that could be really painful for them. Or just because they could eat something. Like I said before, only let them out for 10 to 15 minutes just because they're cold-blooded, and you'll tell when they're cold because of their belly. If they're shedding and you see they have stuck shed, help them. I'm not saying pull it off. Get a little tiny tank or bowl, like a clear bowl, fill it up with water. Make sure the temperature is at about 100. I know that might seem hot, but it's good for them. And you know, let them soak in there, see if they'll pull it off. Or take a Q-tip and gently peel it off. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you follow my Instagram. I know it's Makeup by Crystal, but I'll talk about other stuff if y'all want me to. If you guys want, DM me pictures of your leopard geckos or your reptiles. Take pictures, send me pictures of your tanks. I want to see them. I will post them on my story. I want to see them. I'll show my dad. He's gonna be proud of y'all. He gonna be proud. So yeah, DM me some photos. If you want, comment down below any questions. And I don't have a life. I have a boyfriend, but he's working right now. You know, I don't have a life. I'll answer them within like a second. I'll answer them before you even finish typing them. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video.